Hello. This is my governmental economic issues exhibition style. So, pretty much my exhibition. And what I will be talking about is economic issues. And yeah, so it's like using the right stuff for different things. You don't use things like so you don't use your taxes for your own sake. Like so the government doesn't use their taxes for themselves, and so they also use it for other things. And I chose this topic because Bruce has been talking about it and it's likely that some countries moved to and does not live to have had governments that use taxes for themselves and that there's potholes. He said you have to watch out for the roads and in some places and not the potholes. So that was interesting. So what is economics? The typical explanation is economics is the study of the use of scarce resources that have alternative uses. So the people you see on the side, the resources is the coal and the desires are the peasants. So people need resources to fill their desires because you need wood to make a wooden tray. So if you have a desire to get a wooden tray, then you need wood. So yeah, and the resources can't be infinite, but the desire can be infinite. So resources can't be infinite, and desires can, because you can want to have water for a whole life because you need it, and you can not have resources for your whole life because you will have many, well, you'll have, they'll run out. Like, they won't be here forever. Okay, so capital resource, human resource, and natural resource. This is what is economics, the second part. Economics is very connected with resources because economics is connected with money, and you use money to buy resources. You can use money to buy capital resources, human resources, and natural resources. So, in capital resource, you could use money to buy a truck, and then human resource, you could buy money, or you could use money to buy clay, and natural resource, you can use money to buy natural resources like rocks and different other things. So economics is just how to use money for resources to meet people's desires. My program of inquiry, plus the theme of my topic, is how we organize ourselves. This theme, the theme connects to my topic because my topic is governmental economic issues, as I said before. And governments need to organize their country, and they need to take care and have good use of the taxes, so they can't just use their taxes for themselves, and they need to use it for roads, and yeah. And what I found interesting is that in my service, some people wanted to go to Venezuela rather than USA. I think this was because that it's a nice landscape, and so it's nice to live in a nice landscape, to live in a forest maybe, or to live in the snow. And I'll talk more about that when I talk about my interview. So Yes, my interview. Alejandra was the person I interviewed. She lived in Venezuela, and one of the things she said was that you can live in Venezuela. You can live in the snow, you can live in the forest, you can live in the desert. So you can have many like options if you want to move there. So it's what I talked about before. How is Venezuela at its current stage, and how was it when you lived there, economically based? She said it was good as a kid and all. And long story short, um, her dad was a decent or good man, and they used to have fun, but they were not allowed to go out on the roads all on their own. So it was so they if they wanted to go to the beach, they needed somebody to like their parents to watch after them. Would you say you support how the country responds to the economic situation in Venezuela, or responded to the economic situation in Venezuela? She said, pretty short, long story short, was that uh, yes, because it's a bad president, and so yeah, it's like it's just normal because it's not the best president, so it's okay to emigrate, and because the money was going low, the food was going low, and yeah. So, next question. What negative and positive things has the government done to the people's daily life, including food, salary, water, and shelter? She said she didn't really look at anything positive. She mostly thought about that USA didn't like stop trading with them, and so anyone who traded with USA were not allowed to trade with them. So, or anyone who traded with Venezuela were not allowed to trade with USA. How would you say your country's trade relations are like? She said, well, again, that USA stopped trading with the people who traded with Venezuela. So, and a lot of people want to trade with USA because they have a lot of resources that people want to have. All right. Okay, my survey question 1. So what would be the first thing you look into if there's an election? 0 people chose healthcare expense. 0 people chose taxes. 1 person chose education. 1 person chose education. 3 people chose job opportunities. And 12 people chose all of the above because obviously you want to look at healthcare expense, taxes, education, and job opportunities because there's an election, so you want to know all that stuff so you can live in that country and have a decent life. And 3 people chose other. I support it. It's hopefully a good option. Yeah. My survey question 2. What would you look into if you're moving to a new country? 0 chose healthcare expense. 2 chose taxes, or not really. 12 people chose healthcare expense, and a lot of people chose, or 2 people chose taxes. 1 person chose education, or not really. Actually, okay, 14 people chose taxes. 13 people chose education. 15 people chose job opportunities, and obviously all of the above is all the other things I said. And 1 person chose other, which I support again, and this one shows the same thing. My survey question 3. What would you want your leader or government to use your taxes for? So 0 people chose roads, 5 people chose healthcare, 0 people chose new buildings, 0 people chose military, and 5 people chose education. And 7 people chose all of the above. So really, new buildings and military and roads got 7 anyways because they chose all of the above. and 2 people chose other. Probably a good cause, hopefully. And this is the last one of my survey. So my survey question 4: what country would you move to if your country had an economic crisis? I got 18 responses, and I will say every single one. So 1 is Netherlands, 2 is Canada, 3 is Switzerland, 4 is I would stay and help in any way I could, and 5 is Germany, 6 is New Zealand, 7 is a country with a good economic situation, 8 is New Zealand, 9 is any or the Scandinavian countries, Norway, Finland, Denmark, or Iceland. 10 is Netherlands. 11 I thought was pretty funny because they said somewhere where it's warm all the time. It was a very, very straight answer. And 12, Norway. 13, probably I would like to go to Switzerland or Singapore. 14, USA. 15, Norway. 16, I would stay in Sweden. 17, Switzerland. 11, France. That one was bigger because it was just one. And what I saw is that many people chose Switzerland, Netherlands, and New Zealand. So it was those 3 countries. I think they chose it because, I think they are very calm countries on their own. So they don't have a lot going on, I think. Of course, if you want to, you can correct me, but that's what I know. Okay, my lines of inquiry. 1, the way people in Venezuela perceive the government's perspective. So it's like I can look at a thing in different ways. So I can look at Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, in a good way, and then maybe you can look at it in a bad way. And causation of governmental needs, causation. So we can have different causes for governmental needs. So like you can have, if a government wants you to use or if a government uses the taxes for this, then hopefully it's good in your opinion, and you hopefully want to know what the government uses the taxes for. So like they don't only use it for their house, and they use it for roads and maintenance for the country, or I don't know. And my essay. My essay link, if you want to get my essay link, then just you can ask me now if you want to. And so my essay starts talking about Florida in USA and about their economy. So I look into USA, Sweden, Venezuela, Russia, and North Korea on this essay. And then I look briefly into the other countries except for USA, and then I look into the types of governments like the Russia and, well, USA have. My model shows how functional and non-functional governments are with its roads. Also the house in the back. I actually did upgrade my thing and my model, the house, but I wasn't able to get a picture of it because these last two days I wasn't able to be at school because I was sick, so I wasn't able to do that. My learner profiles. My learner profiles are thinker because governments have to think about their rules and all that. So like they have to think about what they're going to use their taxes for, like what is more destroyed or what is more needed, and yeah. And then balanced because the governments can't only have 55 stores and then one house. So, and then even if it's one house, there might just be 5 people in it, and then 55 stores, you can't have 5 people working at 55 different stores. It just won't work. Display reflection. You can find this picture if you search reflection on PPT online pictures. And I think I've done quite good yet so ever. I wrote this a week ago, so yeah. And what I've done is finish the OneNote, or at least all we have to do, in the Word document talking about something I said before in the Word, but then here it says I'll say later because I have no idea. If you have any questions or feedback or questions or queries, as it says here, then you can talk now if you want to. Okay, well, resources, I have all these. If you want any of the resources, or if you want any of the pictures from my whole presentation, then you can just ask me. And yeah, bye, have a good day or night. Hopefully it's not night, so I disturbed you. And search up economics on online pictures and on PPT, and you'll get this picture. Well, thank you for being here and looking at my presentation. Obviously, as you see, it's only been 16 minutes since I started, so again, as the last time I did, I'm gonna have to wait until then. You can stay if you want to, but you can also leave most monthly, so you can have a nice time and not look at me or look at that. Yeah. Well, thank you. Have a great time.
Hej, well done. Bra jobbat. Jo. Jeg tror det er farmor og Bangwai her med.
Coucou Vilhelm.
T'as bien travaillé.
Oui, 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 oui. Même j'arrive à comprendre. Super.
Ça va? T'es un petit peu nerveux? Nej, ça va pas. Det var jättebra, Vilhelm.
Très calme, bien exposé, bien détaillé, c'est bien.
Ok, à tout à l'heure alors, Vilhelm, ok?
À tout à l'heure.
Maman,
Bisous,
tu
bisous
pourras
à
aller à tout à
tous.
l'heure, tu verras le début.
Alors.
Hello, Vilhelm. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Sorry, I've just logged in now. How did your exhibition go?
Bad because it went 18 minutes and yeah, I'm trying to expand it to 30 or at least 25.
That's fine. So I'd suggest you hang in there until 25 past. You've got 5 more minutes, just in case any other classes log in, because the school will also be logging in at different times during the day. And then you add your tweaks to it, because you'll have one more presentation after lunch today.
Yeah.
Don't forget, now that you're sitting around waiting, you're still busy recording, so you can actually stop recording as well. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and I'll log in a little later and catch up with you. Okay.